and welcome to StampingJoe.com. Today I have a really fun card to show you. It's called a Twisted Easel card, and I got the idea for this at my stamping fundraiser that I did a little while ago from my friend Janet, and she did hers in pink, but I decided I wanted to change up the colors a little bit. So you can see it looks like a typical card like this, but then it actually folds and looks just like an easel. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm going to show you hers. Hers was actually all in the pinks like this, so that looked really pretty too. But I decided blues and greens were my thing for this time. So I started with my Pacific Point cardstock. I cut it to 4 1/4 by 11, and then I actually scored it at 5 1/2. And then I actually, after that, trimmed it to 9 3/4. I don't know why I did it in that order, I just did. So that's the piece that you're going to start with. I'm going to actually show you the stamping of the Whisper White, but you're going to need another cardstock Pacific Point, and this one is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So just the typical quarter page. And that's going to go on like this so that it makes it the actual size of a regular card. So let's stamp our cardstock. We're going to start with 4 ink colors. So I had Pacific Point, Tempting Turquoise, Wild Wasabi, and my favorite Pool Party. One day I'll get a new favorite, but right now that's my favorite. And we are going to use the stamp set called Secret Garden. So this is the one here, and I actually used it with the framelits, the Secret Garden framelits. So I'm going to show you what we are going to do. The first thing that I did is I took this flower here and I stamped it in my Pacific Point. I started with that one because I wanted to make sure that I had that in the right position. So I kind of want that kind of in the middle right. And then since I have that color out, I'm actually going to use a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to use my thank you from the Wacky Wishes Hostess set. Now often I forget to use these, but you get them free for hosting a party, so why not? I love this. It has lots of fun little greetings. And I'm going to use my decorative label punch to punch that out because I'm going to use that on the inside, like that. So I'm done with that color. I'm going to go next with my Tempting Turquoise with this flower here, and I'm just going to do some flowers around. Now there is no right and wrong to this card. You just kind of want to get that cardstock stamped everywhere. And each one is going to look a little different, at least mine did, because it depends where you put your flowers. Next is the Wild Wasabi, and I'm going to use that with my leaf stamp. Get that in there. Fill in some of those blanks in there. This is kind of one of my husband's favorite types of cards because he doesn't like a lot of white space. So it's kind of his way of saying, fill it in. And I did that on this one. Next I'm going to use the Pool Party, and I'm going to use it with this flower here. And I'm going to fill out the rest. And like I said, each one is going to look different because we all are going to put our flowers in different spots and our leaves. As long as it looks full, I think it looks really pretty. Alright, so that's good enough. Oh, maybe one more here. Alright, there we go. Next, what I did is I actually stamped another one of my flowers in Pacific Point on another scrap paper, like this. And then I used my Secret Garden framelits. Now this one here, this is fun because you don't have to cut it with scissors anymore. And here's a tip that I did. Because I want to figure out how to line that up, if you notice there is 2 petals that are sort of together over here. So what I did is I actually took a Sharpie and put a Sharpie dot on my framelit where I know that it goes in between those 2 petals, and then lined it up and put it through my big shot. So I've already done that and have it all pretty and cut out, and I really like how it's simple cutting. Next I am going to take my paper piercing mat with my paper piercer, and just for fun you can actually add a little bit of texture to your flower by pressing in the middle, and it actually makes those petals kind of pop up there. So I'm going to use that after. I'm going to take my snail adhesive and adhere that cardstock onto my Pacific point. Like that. Alright, so the next step is I'm actually going to take my Simply Scored tool and make a score mark. So I'm going to show you how to do that. With your Simply Scored, it's actually really easy to do this. So what I actually did is, you can see over here is your 0, and that's your middle mark. And I took a Sharpie and I just colored in that groove just so that I could really see when I do this kind of thing where it kind of meets up on the other side. So you want to take your score mark that you had in the middle and you want to meet up one of the corners, and then also right at the edge of your score mark, take your scoring tool and just do a groove right there. Just like that. Easy peasy. So you're going to find your score mark over here, and we're going to take it and we're going to fold it up. And then that is going to be the part that you put your adhesive on. So we're going to take our snail adhesive, and I actually tried to make sure that it went kind of close to the edges, just so that my cardstock is well adhered. And I'm going to take back my piece, and you can actually close it up if you want so that you can see where you're going to be. So just press it right down like that, and then it should open up so that it opens like an easel. So the next step is I'm going to take some dimensionals and put one on the back of my flower. You can see I did a oops on the back here. And that's the good thing about cardstock, because it has two sides. And put that in the middle. And then I'm going to take one of our large basic pearl jewels and put it in the middle. I'm going to take my paper piercer, is actually a good tool just to pick that off there. You want to get that glue dot picked off as well. Sometimes they tend to stick on that sheet, so make sure you get both. Put it in the middle, press down, and then we're going to take back that punched out shape that we did and put one on each side. And I found the easiest way to figure out where to put that punched out shape is to open up your easel and figure out about where you want it to go and put your shape right at the edge. Then you can see if I let go, it stays open. Isn't that fun? I just love how that's just something kind of neat, very, very different. And if you mail that to somebody, they definitely won't expect that kind of card. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that today. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to my